Good evening, folks. Now, as you can see right now, in continuation, the visionary board, we have freedom is equals to a minus h times love. We've done all this part of the first part of the video. So now the second part right now, how do you really eliminate hatred you have for something? You can see right now, making hatred subject formula, h subject formula, we have it equals anxiety minus freedom times speculations over love. Speculation simply means guesses. So right now, what does this equation tells us? It tells us that an increase in hatred you have for something will lead to an increase in worry, okay, and also it will lead to increase in freedom, okay, and also will lead to increase in speculation and a decrease in love for that thing, okay. If hatred increases, okay, anxiety or worry will increase, freedom will increase, and also it will lead to increase in speculations, okay, and also and a decrease in love. So right now, how does one actually deal with things? Because from this equation we say if one has to be free, he has to reduce hatred, okay. That's it. So how do we actually reduce hatred to zero? We have to make sure we increase love. If love for something is increased, okay, increase in love will lead to a decrease in hate and a decrease in anxiety, decrease in freedom, and decrease in speculations. What does it mean for decrease in freedom? Decrease in freedom simply means when you're talking about freedom, you're talking about freedom of the mind. Okay, so decrease in the freedom of the mind simply means probably the mind has to do some kind of thinking, okay, so it is not free, okay. A free mind does not think. So a mind that is occupied is the one that is not free and actually thinking. So to really reduce hatred, you have to increase your love for something, and when love increases, hate will increase, and when hate okay, so an increase, sorry for that, increase in love will lead to a decrease in hate and a decrease in anxiety and a decrease in freedom of the mind, because you are definitely going to have your mind occupied, and also a decrease in speculations. That is just the downside of everything. So if you really want to actually eliminate hatred for anything, all you need to do is increase love for that thing, okay. Then you decrease love. When your love is increased, hatred will decrease. When hatred is decreased, anxiety or worry will decrease. When anxiety or worry is decreased, freedom will be decreased, meaning your mind will be occupied. That's what this equation is telling us. Your mind will be occupied, and it also lead to a decrease in speculations. There will be few guesses that you make, okay. You would then have to react less to things, but the freedom of your mind will be decreased, okay. And when the freedom of your mind is decreased, you have to probably you will definitely have some issues, okay. You will definitely have to have some issues. So that is what this equation is trying to tell us, okay. And so I say, let me repeat it again. How do one increase or decrease hatred for anything? You have to increase the love you have for that thing. Now in the process, before you increase love you have for that thing, definitely, let's say it's something you hate a lot, before you increase love you have for that thing, you definitely have to think about that thing, right? You definitely have to think the details about that thing, okay. Like thinking about that thing alone reduces freedom of your mind, okay. So that is why an increase in love will lead to a decrease in hate, decrease in anxiety, and a decrease in freedom, and in a decrease in speculations. Because now, for you to love something, you have to think about that thing details. What are the benefits of that thing, etc, here and there. In that process, freedom is decreased, your mind is decreased, mind freedom is decreased, okay. By that action, okay, by the action of you thinking about that thing in details, it will then reduce speculations. Speculation simply means guesses, reaction to things. It will then reduce speculations. You will no longer want to react to that thing anymore, or react to other things anymore, or make wrong guesses anymore. You will no longer want to do it. Why? Because you have not thought about that thing, occupied your mind, thus reducing freedom, okay, in order to increase love you have for that thing. When love increases for that thing, you must have occupied your mind, thus reducing freedom and reducing anxiety, reducing speculations, and also reducing hatred. So this equation tells us if you really want to work on anything you really hate, you know you hate this thing and it's affecting you. You can see hatred can lead to increase in worry. Okay, increase in hatred can lead to increase in worry and increase in freedom, since you increase in freedom and increase in speculations. Okay, so when you hate something, you just be worried. Your mind will be free, but you will be worried. You can see increase in freedom is here, but you'll be worried, and you will just want to react to everything. So this equation is trying to tell you, hey, if you want to stop hatred for anything, you first of all have to occupy your mind. Okay, think about that thing in details. What are the benefits that thing really offer? The advantages and disadvantages. In that process of thinking about it, it reduces your freedom of mind. Number one, freedom of mind goes down, reduces it, thus reducing speculation, reducing anxiety, reducing hate, and increasing love. So the number one step to actually changing things you really hate in your life is to actually ask yourself, what are the benefits of these things? What are the advantages and disadvantages of these things? That number one step will help boost love. If love increases, hate will decrease, anxiety will decrease, speculations will decrease. So this is all this equation tells us. If you love it, you can let us know in the comments.